Blog Talk Radio.
But we are making a stand, and we're waking everybody up that 9/11 was an inside job. And you are the minority. You are the cowards who don't know the truth. You're the people that serve this evil system. You're the people that serve a system that hurts innocent men, women, and children. Not just Iraqis, not just Afghans, not just Africans, but the people right here in this nation. You serve a new world order that attacks and feeds on you. And I'm here to tell you that you will be defeated. Your hours are numbered. We've got the energy. We've got the life force. All you've got is evil backing you up. All you've got is greed and liking to look at yourself in the mirror. Because deep down, the New World Order is a pot-bellied, chicken-necked ninny. And all the armor and all the weapons are nothing. You are nothing compared to good. You are nothing compared to life. And you will be defeated. I want the individuals out there, I want free humanity to turn themselves loose, to cut the chains loose, and to use the end of that chain to slap the New World Order right upside the head. You've got the power. You want to know who's going to defeat the New World Order? It is you. You're the individuals that are going to be able to defeat this system. You're the individuals that are going to be able to take down the New World Order. It doesn't matter if Ron Paul wins. It doesn't matter if they rig the election. What matters is that we're starting to stand up. We're starting to move. We're starting to find our legs. We're starting to build our muscle. We're starting to realize that we do have power, and we can work together, and we can take action, and that the naysayers are a pack of weak liars who have never had any successes in their life and who are upset and frustrated to see us beginning to have victory against tyranny. They don't have any respect for themselves. They don't have any vision, and they don't have any will. And they sure don't have any of the power that shines out of God's soul and energizes all life in the universe. They have wed themselves to death, and they will.
In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex. The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist. We must never let the weight of this combination endanger our liberties or democratic processes. We should take nothing for granted. Only an alert and knowledgeable citizenry can compel the proper meshing of the huge industrial and military machinery of defense with our peaceful methods and goals, so that security and liberty may prosper together.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society, and we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweighed the dangers which are cited to justify it. Even today, there is little value in opposing the threat of a closed society by imitating its arbitrary restrictions. Even today, there is little value in ensuring the survival of our nation if our traditions do not survive with it. And there is very grave danger that an announced need for increased security will be seized upon by those anxious to expand its meaning to the very limits of official censorship and concealment. That I do not intend to permit to the extent that it's in my control.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. We have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
George Bush has invoked a new world order without enunciating a new American purpose.
Bush said, and it's a phrase that I often use myself, that we needed a new world order, and instead it looks like we got a lot of disorder.
Today we take an essential step in defeating terrorism while protecting the constitutional rights of all Americans. Preventing mass terror will be the responsibilities of presidents far into the future.
The Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. These are not simply words written into aging parchment. They are the foundation of liberty and justice in this country.
This is an ideological battle. Some people believe in globalism, others of us believe in national sovereignty. It's a contest between ideologies, whether we believe in our institutions here, our national sovereignty, our Constitution, or are we going to further move in the direction of international government? It's just knowledge is out there. If we look for it, you'll realize that our national sovereignty is under threat.
All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
All right, everybody. Joseph Gibson, broadcasting from Greensboro, North Carolina. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope well. I hope you listened to that introduction. Before I bring Mandelakhan on, I know there's a private caller that was waiting on a hold there. And I'll bring that private caller on first, and then Mandelakhan is the host of tonight's program. But if you listen to that introduction very clearly, you know, we all worship George Bush, you know, in the corporate media, and you heard what he had to say. We have a real chance at this new world order, you know, not the law of the jungle. You know, we don't need these criminal politicians, these maggots, these scumbags. And, you know, I debate with people on social media, and none of them take my challenge to come onto this program, these scumbags. You know, they want to argue about black, white, this, that. They want to argue about nonsense, the gays, this and that. Listen, put all that aside. It's about ending the New World Order and what these globalists have in store for you. And I always say, first, to defeat the New World Order, we have to defeat the central banking scheme in America and around the world today. Who controls the dollar? Who controls what we barter with? We all have to barter with each other. If you look up fractional reserve banking and do a little research instead of taking selfies on Facebook, look at me, look at me. You know, and all these zombies out there, if I had a cell phone jammer and jammed their phone, they'd panic without their cell phone. I've seen it. Oh, my God, my cell phone. What did I do with my cell phone? How can I live without my cell phone? What do I do? What do I do without my iPhone? And I played it in the introduction. First, you're a human being. God damn it. You need to understand. You've got to get mad, and you need to understand what's happening around you. You're being controlled. You're being controlled by a filthy, rotten system. And first, you have to end what we all need. We all need money. We all need to barter with each other. And the problem is that we have a central bank that controls that. It controls that around the world. It controls the wars. It controls what's happening. You know, I applaud Donald Trump for pulling out the troops in Syria. Pull the troops out of Afghanistan. They don't need to guard the opium fields, the poppy seeds, and all that. You know, because we know the opioid crisis. All of a sudden, there's a big pandemic now in America. Why? Why? Because we know the government ships the drugs into this country. The government that is your corporation. We know that. If you're not awake to it, then you need to wake up. Stop taking selfies on Facebook and worrying about yourself. Attention to what the hell's going on around you. And I'm not saying pick up a gun and get into a shooting war with anybody. I'm not advocating violence, because there's a peaceful revolution, and Mandelakhan's going to bring that to us here tonight. He's going to be the host of the show. There's a peaceful way of doing it, and there's a lawful way of doing it. You know, but when all else fails, you know, like Thomas Jefferson once said, every generation needs a revolution. What the definition of that revolution is, we already know. During the Civil War, it was hijacked. We were hijacked as a country, and then in 1913, they sold us out through the Federal Reserve Act, and in 1933, under the Federal Emergency Powers Act, which was readdressed again by the Criminal Senate Judiciary Committee. I read that on Thanksgiving night. Go back, look it up. These people are criminals. They need to get their hands off of Australia, get their hands out of Africa, and let the people come together as one people, because we can control our own selves. We don't need the police out there. We don't need the Federal Reserve to pull us over, telling us you got a suspended driver's license, and we're going to electrocute you and haul you off to jail. Folks, 2018, more police officers died than any other time in history because people are fed up. We're sick and tired of it. We don't want to be harassed. I have a right to travel by any means necessary. Okay? And people say, well, a driver's license is a good thing. No. Well, what comes along when you sign a driver's license, a contract? That means you got to have insurance, you got to register your vehicle, you got to pay a highway use tax, and then you got to pay the king and queen every year a tax. Otherwise, they'll suspend your registration. It's all a scam, man. The corporation owns you. They own you. But there's a way out of it. And I think Mandelakhan is going to explain that here tonight. And after my short introduction here, I just always give a little short introduction. I know some people have heard it many times over and over again, but that's what they do to you through your television set, through your internet. They tell you the same things over and over and over again to brainwash you. Why do they call TV programs? Why do they call it a television program? To program you. To program you to eat, think, sleep, dress, pay your bills, buy the programming, like Amazon. You see all those silly-ass commercials? You know, I only watch TV just to keep up to date. I don't buy into it. Like we exposed Amazon a couple weeks ago when we called the Philippines. Yeah, Amazon, an American company, but I got to speak to somebody in the Philippines who openly admitted that Amazon doesn't care about you. And they tried to jam this show. They tried to shut it down. But we're still here. And that's why I tell everybody, look, make your voices heard before it's too late. Make your voices heard on understand the times in which we live in today. You need to understand the times in which we live in today. You need to understand that. Look, I don't know if the New World Order, I don't know what's going to happen next 3 years. I don't know. All I can do is know what's happening today in the lives of everyone like you out there who are listening and myself. And I know we're in freaking trouble. We're in big trouble. But anyway, I want to get to the caller that was hanging on the longest. This may be one of Mandelakhan's guests. I don't know. Before I connect Mandelakhan to have his show here tonight, and everyone else, all you got to do is press the number 1. I don't screen callers. I don't hang up on callers. And I've been on other Blog Talk radio shows this past week, actually. I want to give a shout-out to them. I spoke to some people in Washington State, actually, and they're willing to come on here in the next few days. And I'm planning on getting Melissa back on here, who agrees with Mandelakhan. She was a former court investigator. But, look, all in all, and we had the Schwab family on here also in the last week, and they're reunited as a family, so that is so awesome. And they gave me kudos on their website, you know, because Joseph Gibson, Blog Talk Radio, gave them a voice first. And then InfoWars gave them a voice, Alex Jones. And I've been in contact with InfoWars, actually, and they agree with my show, okay? Glenn Beck doesn't agree with my show because I have an intro that introduces Alex Jones, and they can make fun of me. Howard Stern can make fun of me. They can do whatever they want to do, but we're worldwide, and we're here to speak the truth and tell the truth. And if people don't like it, too damn bad. Too damn bad. Everyone has opinions today, but they're not a factual foundation to the way we should live by today. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, but it's not a fact. You know, I don't believe in this religion, this and that, this God, this black and white, this and that. That's all a distraction, folks, to the real thing, what's going on. You're being controlled. You're owned from the day of birth by a central bank. And here in America, it's called the Federal Reserve System. Why do they call it federal? It's not federal. That's a deception right there from the beginning that you should know about. There's nothing federal about the Federal Reserve Bank. It's no more federal than Federal Express. But the dumbass sheep out there, oh, what are we going to do without money? What will we do? It's called survival. It's called coming together as a people, and we can come up with our own system, and we can institute that. We don't need European bankers, European criminals to control us. Oh, well, we'll carry on more about this in the future on this show. Like I said, say things over and over. Maybe people will wake up. Instead of worrying about Israel, instead of worrying about this and that, worrying about Trump pulling out troops, worrying about the border wall and all that other crap that they're distracting you with, which is all a big lie. Democrats supported the wall when Obama was president, but now they don't support it because Trump is president. And Trump had control of the House and Senate for the first 2 years. Why didn't he get his wall then? Because you're freaking idiots. You buy into this crap. You buy into the crap. The corporation. You're owned by a central bank called the Federal Reserve System if you live in America and in many other places around the world. It's a fact. Look it up. Instead of posting selfies on Facebook and staring at your freaking iPhone and all your widgets and gadgets, wake up. I think that's what Mandelakhan's going to do to us. But Mandelakhan, there was a caller before you. I don't know if this is one of your supporters or not. Maybe they want to speak here. They pressed 1, so I got to get to them first, and I'm going to connect you, Mandelakhan. All right? Because it is your show here tonight. Private caller, go ahead. I'm going to connect you live on Blog Talk Radio. Go ahead.
Yes, Joseph. How you doing, my friend? This is Mike from Singapore. How are you? How are you to your friend Mandela Effect as well? Yeah, you know, this is a worldwide event has been happening as we speak. Many internet services within the United States, Canada, Europe, Singapore, China, and basically all over the world, let's put it that way, are not working properly. Many of them are offline. Many ATMs around the globe are offline too. And still, in the United States, CenturyLink still is, I don't know what happened. Maybe a big cyber attack has happened. We will know it later on. Or something they're doing that we cannot pull up our money from anywhere in the world.
Sir, before sir, let me interrupt you. Where are you calling from again?
It's a Mike from Singapore, sir.
Singapore. Okay, very good. We are worldwide. I just said that's good to verify that.
Yeah, I told you last time I called in too. Yeah, I called you last time too. I talked to you before. Yeah. So I ask everybody. We have minimum $1,000 cash of their country, wherever you live. If you live in India, $1,000 rupees. $1,000 times 40 rupees is almost 4 million rupees you have to have in hand. And or if you're in Europe, 1,000 euro, please take it from your bank and put it for emergency, because something is going on happening. Even United States as well, so $1,000 US minimum. As soon as tomorrow You go to your ATMs if it's open, because many ATMs are down worldwide right now as we speak. And also, so this is my suggestion to everybody: get minimum $1,000. What do you think, my friend?
I agree with you 100%. And I played an intro. I want to get to Mandelakhan here, and he's got a lot to say, but I want to keep you on the line because you're worldwide with us. But I agree with you 100%. We need to have tangible assets to barter with. And I don't know what's going on over there in Singapore or around the world right now. I can only read about it through the corporate news.
CenturyLink, all everybody down. And it's, many people call customer services worldwide, also CenturyLink, and then they were for hours hold. They were frustrated.
So you're telling me, sir? So hang on. So you're telling me, sir? Hang on. So you're telling me worldwide right now, and where you're at, you can't get money out of an ATM because they're shut down. Wow.
Yes,
and the corporate media doesn't report on that. Wow. That is very interesting. That is a news report right here on Blog Talk Radio right now. This gentleman is halfway across the world, and he's telling us that the ATMs are shut down. What's that tell you, folks? But in America, we're worried about Santa Claus,
Right. Yeah, and
ahead,
also
the
last 3-4 days, it was been like that all over the world. The last 4 days, I don't know what's going on. Last 4 days, including today.
Here in America, hang on, sir. Well, here in America, the ATMs are still up and running, and the bank and the central bank is still working properly. But because what would happen if they shut down the money here in America, it would go worldwide. But they're getting ready to do that, and people don't know this. They don't understand that. They don't get it. They only got 3 days worth of food in their refrigerator, and after that, they're going to panic and go to a FEMA camp, and maybe get a microchip put in their right hand or their forehead or whatever they're going to do. But you're reporting something here that I did not really know about, and I thank you so much. I really do.
If you
go ahead, sir.
If you go to Dawn Detector, you shall see what's going on in the United States right now. And if you go Steve Quell is also give you the news too.
Wow. Well, I want to bring on the host of this show.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Sure.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
In case if I was disconnected, so you know why I was disconnected. So because we don't have a good connection.
I understand.
I may have.
Yeah, I understand that, but you can click on the link also, blogtalkradio.com/Joseph Gibson, if you're able to connect and listen if you drop the call. But I want to bring on the host tonight of the show. He's the guest host. But I will be broadcasting again on Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard U.S. time. And I would welcome your voice because I'm sure my guest who's going to come on the program that night would love to hear from where you're at. And this is someone who actually works for the court system. Without further ado, though, I need to bring on Mandelakhan, and hopefully this gentleman will be able to remain on the line. And this is someone who's around the world here. So we're worldwide. And all you got to do is press 1 if you want to join in on Mandelakhan's conversation here tonight. I'm going to bring Mandelakhan on. Sorry, Mandelakhan, but this caller was waiting a little longer than you, and I always want to give everyone a voice on Blog Talk Radio, understanding the times in which we live in. So go ahead, Mandelakhan. The show is yours. I'll let you know if someone wants to cue in. Go ahead.
Roar, 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 says the conquering Lion of Judah, from Maine to Florida, Washington State to California, UK, University of Kentucky, from the Congo to the Bongo. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another hard-hitting night of pain inside of the production of Understanding the Sign of the Times We Live in Today by Joe Gibson, the producer, and we are solidarity as we speak. So I can say that this is the hardest hitting communication network anywhere on the planet, from FCC, radio, and TV and radio. And I definitely wouldn't say it if it wasn't so. Tonight, we are going to become children. And we do have complaints, grievances from the past. But this is not the night for that. This is the night to remember what we forgot as we came into this genesis of kill or be killed just recently. And we're going to fast forward to the revolutionary revelation and interact with the word jingoism. Jingoism is when you have a national boundary, a country where that's all you see. You're blinded by freedom, justice, and total independence. And you're blinded by the traditional sins of the fathers of the past. That's what I know. And I have to deprogram you before I reprogram you. From the committee of one, I'm one person. You're one person. No one's greater than me. No one's greater than you. So we're going to have to deprogram, to reprogram, to remember what we forgot. And we all have a grievance, like I say, but the only way to get out of that terrible genesis, you got to fast forward to the revolutionary revelation. Revolution means go in reverse. It's all reverent. The root word is rev. So we're redefining every word that we ever heard by remembering that rev means to take action, to put energy together, to be from point A to get to point Z. And point Z is for us to establish what must be. The only way we can abolish what we see is by establishing what must be. And what must be first and foremost is establishing the venue for love. Love is the only solution in this revolutionary revelation. Anyone or person with words, actions, and deeds that subtracts, separates, and divides is evil, no matter what they appear to look like with your lying eyes. Anyone that adds and multiplies, that is the revolutionary revelation that you will remember that will make you great. So some people, like the producer, Joe Gibson, and others, would come to the table and say, well, let's make America great again. So you can say Joe Gibson's the good cop. Mandelakhan's the bad cop. So everybody draw a line in the sand or put your scale of balance in there. You say, Joe Gibson, make America great again. And then on the other side, let's make the Americas free again. For the sign of the times in which we live in today. Let's make the Americas free again. No one has ever uttered that statement to you, black, brown, red, yellow, and white, old, young, gay, straight alike. What do you mean, Mandelakhan? Let's make the Americas free again. Now, if you're thinking of the Confederate flag, the Constitution, or the first revolution against the mother, you might say, well, let's make America great again. But the United States of America don't represent no percentage of the human population. Matter of fact, if you're black, that's 0.1%. And all the others up to the white people, we are the real 5% of the human family. So this is not a request. This is a demand that you lay the map of the world on your table, in your computer, your Abdullah Alamangala, and say the creator first, and then lay the map of the world on your mind and say, what's more important right now? Is it from the creator? You would say yes. Or is it from God, country, and guns of the United States of America? Is it, if you lay the creator's world on the table of your mind, what's more important in the scale of balances of justice? freedom and independence? Is it live and let live in one love, or God bless America and no praise self? The mighty eagle is the only nation that you know of, just like me, because I can say what I say, and I got a right to say what I say based on the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And that's the only thing going to save you. Is it right for the eagle that we can prove is the only nation, even if the news media, CNN, MSNBC, Fox, 1063, or BET come and tell you that, look, this nation, China's a bad nation, Russia's a bad nation, North Korea, Iraq, Iran, or Pakistan, the Africans or the Mexicans, that's a bad nation. Okay? Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. Because we can prove that the only eagle that goes like a pigeon and drops shit on people, bombs, bullets, and missiles, is the eagle. No other nation on the planet of the Creator goes east, west, north, and south at its own volition. Not about its constitution, God, country, and its guns, but irrespective of other nations' constitution, the sovereignty and integrity and dignity for their right to be free and their right to not have their people destroyed from domestic and foreign illegal aliens and their weaponry. You see? The Constitution of the United States of America means nothing if the Constitution of the other nations means nothing. You understand me? There are 205 nations on the planet. This nation only represents 5%. And if you put in the context of the so-called blackness, that's 0.1%. 99.9% of this worldwide blackness lives outside of the United States of America. That's why I can talk to you like this, because I didn't earn my stripes to put the truth, the whole truth, and nothing on the table on something that you forgot. So I wanted to slow down and let's get into what it really, really means, because when we say let's make the Americas free again, we got to remember, and I got to take you back to school, to special education, with these two little nursery rhymes. The first one, Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down, the King of England, and broke his crown, and Jill, the Queen of England, came tumbling after. Don't you remember now? Those who invaded the space brought their own nursery rhymes from kindergarten that knew that they couldn't hold on to what they stole of someone else's, and they wrote nursery rhymes about it. The King of England broke his crown, and now the Queen is here because you recognize her. And the King came into Genesis. Now here's the Queen in the Revolutionary Revelation, and Jill's crown is nothing over the other sovereign, indigenous, independent women on the planet. Michelle Obama and the Queen of England must be treated exactly like the other women in the municipalities in their county, city, state, their nations. If the other women in their county, city, state, and nations are not treated like Michelle and the Queen of England, then all bets are off. That's why we came in tonight with let's make the Americas free again under the mighty matriarch and class action 567. The birthright of the total recall of the matriarch. Because if you remember from the books of the dead, some of y'all have the Bible, Torah, and Quran. Some of y'all may be a Hebrew Israelite, more Muslim or Christian, but you're under the auspices of Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. And under the auspices of Father, Son, Holy Ghost, in your own mind, as I help you remember, what's the missing link in history? First story, the last second, the last 1,000 years, it don't mean a thing because it don't have that swing. The only good thing about the good old days is that they are dead and gone. Now to the future is the revolutionary revelation. That's why the real unforgivable sin is not black versus white. It was wrong versus right. And no white man or black man had the authority to take control of Mother Earth. You understand me? Therefore, let me calm down for a minute and go into this blessing and pledge. Blessed are the mothers, grandmothers, great-grandmothers, and their warring factions worldwide, for it is they under the birthrights and the total recall are the true entitlers and inheritors of Mother Earth's precious, precious resources. And I'm so glad, privileged, and honored that Mother Universe, Mother Uterus, Mother Earth, Mother Africa, Mother Nature produced and preserved a wretch like me exactly and precisely for a time like this, so I can help you remember how we all get free. Freedom and justice and total independence for everybody, or freedom and justice and total independence for nobody. So let's make the qualifying commonality, the common denominator of what makes us one. Some people might say, well, maybe if you're black. Some might say you're white. No, I'm a Hebrew, an Israelite, a Muslim, a Christian, a Muslim. No, I'm a man or a woman. I'm old, young, I'm gay, and I'm straight. I'm alike. I'm bisexual. I'm such and such. No, that's the divisive tribalism and gangsterism that is you have been brainwashed with. Now I'm going to help you remember. Now watch this. Now keep your third eye on me because I'm moving kind of fast. Now I want you to just put this in your itinerary and say things that make you go, like Arsenio Hall used to say. Guess what is our common denominator and our commonality? Blood, water, and sustenance. If you are a human being, no matter what color, gender, creed, old or young alike, it's only blood, water, sustenance, and air. Let me say it again. Blood, water, sustenance, and air. Now, if we look at each other because of our racism, bias, and prejudice, we don't like what we see because our eyes think and tell us that we don't like that person based on what they appear to be. Right? And our elders used to tell me, believe in none of what you hear and half of what you see. Right now, we are blinded by our own racism, bias, and prejudice. Therefore, we cannot share care and love for one another. But we know that that's the deciding factor. You can't get no penitence with this current relationship. There's no way to demonstrate no beneficence. Like this, there's no way we can demonstrate no penitence or beneficence like this. It's not right. It's not right. And we are here to make this right. So when we say blood, water, and sustenance, we're going to have to become like Helen Keller, Jose Feliciano, Ray Charles, and Stevie Wonder, because we are all been brainwashed into temporary mental illness of kill. Hang on, Mandelakhan, I just want to remind that you're the co-host here tonight, and I gave you the floor. But if anyone wants to have something to say, all you got to do is press the number 1. I don't screen callers. I'll put you live. All you got to do, if you want to agree with Mandelakhan or you want to talk about the intro here tonight, all you got to do is press the number 1, and I'll put you live. Not like other blog talk radio shows where they put you in a screening room, say, hey, what do you want to talk? What's your name? Blah, 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 So everyone, all you got to do is press 1 time, and we'll put you on. Go ahead and continue your thoughts, Mandelakhan, and then we'll carry on. Go ahead. Well, here's the deal. I'm strict about this because I'm not going to have no debate with me. If you come in here, because Joe doesn't open it up to another section, like he's the good cop, I'm the bad cop, or I'm the bad cop and he's the good cop, or he's the bad cop, I'm the good cop, right? So if you come in here, no matter who you are, you're all welcome. And if you go low, I'm going to go lower. And if you go lower, I'm going to go underground and give you an African ass whipping. You hear me? With my tongue. I don't have a knife or a gun, but I will rat-tat-tat-tat on the ass of injustice till victory's won. So all your shenanigans saving for another show with Joe. But if you got some sustenance of truth to bring in on how we bring this together, then it's time to do that. That's what I'm about. I'm not here to quibble, wobble, and vomit.
Well, let me ask you a question, Mandela. Let me ask you a question then. How do we... All right, go ahead, finish your thought, and then I'm going to ask you a question, how we come together.
Okay, well, look, that's another program, Joe, but let me finish up my dissertation because you threw everything off with you and the other caller, but you put everything in perspective because you put the two halves on the table. It's two sides of the coin, right? You gave one side, I'm giving the other side because I was supposed to host, but since you done opened up Pandora's box, I'm breaking the Da Vinci Code straight up, all in the face, against all odds, and it's the people. I'm not right, you're not right, ain't nobody right until we get the freedom of justice and independence that I'm bringing forth now. Well, establishing what must be is the only way to abolish what we see. That's where we at. But let me get this out of the nursery rhyme, and then let me close this out so I can see if there's anyone who really has anything of substance to say, right? So, you heard Jack and Jill. This one's going to blow your mind. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men cannot put Humpty together again. Damn, Mandelakhan, you made that up. No, I didn't. Those were the wizards of Armageddon telling you that we can't do this for long, y'all. It's just going to be a time when the people going to open up their eyes, their third eye. They're going to wake up and remember. But it took a match to bring this to you. I didn't make them two nursery rhymes up. But here we are, December 27, 2018, when y'all been bribed by the media telling you that there's some people coming up from South America. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of them, and you've been already brainwashed from Barack Hussein Obama to this guy Donald Hitler Trump, because they want to build a wall. Hey, look at this. How could you be programmed to be so paranoid that even blind people want a wall right now based on your orientation or based on.
Hang on, Mandelakhan, hang on. I got a question here for you. You know, build a wall. Well, the Vatican Church has a wall around it, and it works. A lot of other countries have walls. Well, why is it so wrong for America to have a wall? And after you answer that question, I want to get to area code 904 because they pressed 1. So, you know, I mean, the wall works. I mean, are we not a sovereign country here in America? That's 3 questions. So if you can answer that real quick, we got callers here who may want to queue in here. So
I'll tell you
go ahead.
Well, since you're trying to steer me, now I'm telling you now, don't make me play rough with you, Joe. It's your program, your production.
Well, no, you brought it up. You brought the wall up.
No. I didn't bring the context up. You cut me off in the context of why there will be no wall built in the Americas, Joe. So if you want,
all right. Well, let's bring. Hang on. I don't want to make callers wait too long.
Okay, well, hold on. Hey, Joe.
No, Mandelakhan, you said you want to take callers. Let's take some callers.
Wait a minute. Hey, Joe. We're going to have plenty of time for the callers. But
they don't want to wait. They don't want to wait forever, Mandelakhan. You can't make callers wait forever. Let's bring them on, and we got plenty of time for you.
Okay, Lawrence. Well, here's what you do. You handle it how you want to, and then you turn it back over to the co-host after you done went through your, I call it.
Yeah. Let's without the caller, Mandelakhan, this is my advice to you. Without callers, without people listening in, and without other opinions, there really is no show. It's a one-sided show. So we need to listen to everyone else. That's my advice.
Okay, I agree with that. I agree with that, but let you know that you, like Tyrone the Terrible, usually on your program, I've been with you for, you have you and 7 little rascals. And I know that
there's no little rascals. These are different callers. These are different callers. I promise you.
Oh,
not 90. Hang on. 904. Go ahead. You're live. Go ahead. Let a caller get in here. 904.
Yes,
go ahead. What's on your mind?
Yes, hi. Somebody said something about how can we bring this together, and I pretty much for the last 20 years have been thinking about that and have come up with some ideas. Like for one, I would just share 2 of them very briefly, and that way we can possibly discuss it.
Oh, you take your time. The floor is yours, sir. You take your time. The floor is yours right now. Go ahead.
All right. Well, first, establishing common ground. And the reason why I say common ground, because when I look at the different faiths, and if I just use Christianity as an example, then it has like the different denominators, or like the different denominations. And with me being ex-college professor of math and physics, then I pretty much used to teach my students that pretty much before you can add these two fractions together, they must come to common ground. They must come to the same terms about what the truth is. And the truth is solid enough to stand on it, on a clear, sound foundation. Now, what is the truth? The truth has been defined in these days to two sheets of paper. Even 3 pages conquers all the lies that have been put out. And it easily can be found online like pretty much later on, if you kind of give me the email, then, I could probably forward to you. And, it's free for, download. Such that, I would like feedback as to how to make it better. I've been working on how to put as much truth on a single sheet of paper for 20 years as I went through, studying physics and then studying atmospheric physics. But in 1998, I was given a choice to either follow this path or not. And along the way, I did have to get my master's degree in atmospheric science and all that. But pretty much all of this is such that I could help in these days, such that we don't be deceived and going around in circles is not going to help. Being able to navigate through this to get to a destination to where we can have respect for each other. In the past, I feel that with a lot of the ones that started these institutions that people benefit from are long dead and in the dust. They are ashes beneath our feet. And I say that with respect. Yeah, I feel like we can learn from that. And one way we can learn is by establishing a rules to engagement and conversation. If we could begin to talk and communicate without getting loud or, just identifying certain attributes and characteristics as, you know what I'm saying, this is attacking or, this is offensive language, this is defensive language, using this as a, pleonasm and run-on. Well, what I'm saying is that establishing
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Can I ask you a question real quick before I get to another caller, and then Mandelakhan will come back on? To get along and to understand respect for everybody, we need to really end the Federal Reserve Bank. We have to have a bartering system. We really do. So, but anyway, 251's been waiting, Mandelakhan. So I got to give respect to the callers. So 251, go ahead.
Greetings, Joe and Mandelakhan, this evening. How are you? It's Akshita Veda from Mobile, Alabama. And
How you doing? How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. I'm a little bit, stuffy at the nose, but overall I cannot complain because I'm able to have this conversation with y'all this evening. So we all good, right?
We're good. We're good. Bring your knowledge to the table, my friend.
But, we was talking about, we got stopped at pretty much how do we bring this all together. And, we continue to look to religion, as an answer. If we just let go of the religious principles and tenets and go back to spirituality where there is no separation, we can all be one in unity. And it would be only if we look through the eyes of nature and see that our differences are beautiful rather than a reason to debate. We're looking at everything as a reason for, the way you see it is right or the way someone else sees it is wrong. Rather than looking at it like that, we can all come together because, see, the rainbow is not consistent of just one color. It's multiple colors that make such a beautiful reflection across the sky from one end to the other. So if we as people can come together and unite in the same exact way, link up and let our differences shine, then we will look like the rainbow right here on the ground as a reflection of what's up in the sky. So that's how we can bring it together if we just can get back to who we are rather than who they said we are.
But how do we stop the corporation and the criminals out there that are programming the zombies out there? How do we stop that? Because there's so many people that are too worried about their iPhones and taking selfies on Facebook, and we know that we have a bartering system that is controlled in America at least and around the world. That that America's influencing the foreign policy around the world. We all hear about that all the time. How do we put a stop to that?
Well, Joe, already the Federal Reserve System is the problem. This is a continuing conversation here. That is where the problem is, and it's getting, following the money, and where the money is where, you really pretty much get to the problem, the root of the problem. Because, see, a lot of what's going on is the money is there, but it's not being allocated to do what it needs to do within the communities, and the communities aren't standing up and taking control of what's going on within their communities. We're all looking to the system that's oppressed us as a people to say, hey, don't oppress us anymore. We want our free, and so only way you can be free is to first free yourself from mental captivity. And so to know that this is the problem, the Federal Reserve System.
That was what you just said right there was awesome answer. That's an awesome answer what you just said, actually. Not because you agree with me on the Federal Reserve, because we all have to have a bartering system, and we're controlled by that bartering system, and we're brainwashed with the corporate media, and the white, black, Hispanic, the wall, this and that. It's all a big fat freaking lie, but we feed into it,
Absolutely. And just like you stated earlier, just as everybody's around here worried about Christmas and what they're going to do, for Christmas Day, that day is long gone. And now today there's issues going down in the in the world and the economic system that we're not even privy to, that's going to affect us.
Well, hang on.
Hang on
before you. Yeah, did you hear the caller that first came onto the show? He was from Singapore. Okay, halfway across the world. Okay. The ATMs are shut down there. They're facing an economic crisis around the world, and we don't hear about it here in America because we're too busy worried about Christmas presents, right?
Exactly, yes, and still talking about the things of the past. When, the things of the past, we give reverence to it appropriately and accordingly, but to thrive, to continue to talk about it every single day with no resolve is just pointless to me. So I enjoy coming on and having these modern-day conversations with you and Mandelakhan and the other callers on the show, Joe. But, yeah, we're so in a coma-like sleep as a people. We're not paying attention to foreign policy. We're not paying attention to the economic status of our of just us as a people. We don't even know that we are a Republican. If we just stand up and say we're against this wrong as a people and be in unity, then we can make a great difference. But we're not doing that because we're still talking about those things of the past.
And not really looking at the real issues. Yeah. That is such an awesome thing, and I sent a lot of people out messages, about things, about what's going on, today, and the thing of it is, I read this quote to many people, and I don't know if you'll like this quote or not. He won't organize, won't join, won't come along, lets his brother pay the price, but won't he take the benefits his brothers have accrued? And that's the society we live in today.
Absolutely.
We need to work together.
Absolutely. And if we want to look at things from a religious perspective, let's look at it as it is. The word says to go look to the ants, right? So are we really taking the word that's in the Bible and using it, utilizing those parables and those lessons and things of that nature to actually make a difference, to make a change in our life? You know, are we really using that information to benefit, upward movement as a people? You know, are we really using that information to progress, to come out of Egypt? You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't even realize.
Oh, you just said a key word. You just said a key word, coming out of Egypt. I read a book years ago about that. Coming out of Egypt. We're all enslaved to the Egyptian way. So you're knowledgeable. So that is awesome what you just said.
Oh, thank you. But this is a fact. This is a fact. And so Egypt actually translates into bondage. So we're in bondage to the principles and tenets, and we don't even understand that it's not only the municipalities of our local areas, but it's also the principalities within our spiritual realm and where we are, And so all these things they're a part of the grand scheme of things. And if you're not tying in the spiritual to the physical, then we're just lost anyway.
That's correct.
So,
you're absolutely correct. And, yeah. And any other caller who wants to cue in the conversation here tonight and bring up anything you want. Mandelakhan's the host of the program here tonight. All you got to do is press 1. I disconnected from 904 by accident. I don't know if you have anything else to add to what this lady just said here, who is very knowledgeable and I respect very much, and I welcome her on my program anytime. Area code 904, do you want to react to what was just said? Maybe not. All right, well, Mandelakhan, then, the floor is yours again. Go ahead. I don't have any other callers that pressed 1. You're unmuted, 904, if you want to react here. Go ahead. Area code 904. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Hello.
Well.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead. React.
All right. All right.
You're
cool.
there. You're live.
You know what I'm saying? Thank you. Thank you for that technical support. Because I did have it muted, just out of respect for the callers. All right. And, that was an excellent presentation as well. And, I was just kind of taking some little notes. Like, basically, what she said, and I really didn't catch your name, but my name is, Onai. It's like Johnny, but the J is silent. So it's on, like alone, Onai. So, all right, like, basically we come together by establishing common ground of unity. So I suggest we focus on solutions, and what she said was correct, because these solutions are present in nature. And as I look around and I see, like, basically when I was in D.C. studying the atmosphere, and I been doing master's and PhD is political, and I'm in the heart of politics.
I think we might have lost him again, actually. Yeah, I think he dropped. He was making a great point. But Mandelakhan, this is your show, and any other callers who 657-383-0616 if you're listening on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. That's the number you got to call in, or you can join in the chat room like many other people have. Mandelakhan, go ahead. You want to make some more comments? I don't see any other callers here pressing 1. So if you want to have a conversation with the caller before the last, go ahead.
I appreciate it. Let me carry on where I was, and I appreciate everyone who got in between, because this voice here, on behalf of the total recall of the matriarch of the Ethiopian Empire and Class Action 567, I know that I'm a needle in a haystack. I know it. I know it by everything that everyone else has to say, because a lot of people like to talk more than me, including you, Joe. Like, all y'all do, and that's a beautiful thing. However, my assignment is crystal clear: to get 11 million people, minimum, to come together as one, because there's only one solution There's only one. And from the Genesis, and I like the way y'all weave some of the Bible terminology in there. I can do it too. In the Genesis, we started this together. And to kill or be killed, where everybody travels in the military, the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, maybe a policeman or attorney, a judge, or a prison guard. And we started it together. We might be all multiple colors in the Genesis. We started this kill or be killed together. And fast forward to this revolutionary revelation, we're going to end
Mandelakhan, hang on, Mandelakhan, before you finish your point, there is another caller, area code 248, and we'll put them live as soon as you finish your point. Okay?
All right. And the truth be told, the only truth is the real truth. That which you know. We started this together. No matter how it started, who did it, and who done it. Or they did it, you did it, I did it, you didn't. We're going to end this together. Those who want freedom, justice, and total independence. So that's new information again that you had to put in there. And because of the matriarch, which is the hidden tragedy, to where every woman on the planet can see damn near her family being destroyed. Her children, her old folks have no protection from the men because men evilly took control of Mother Earth. Men were not supposed to be the proper authority, the proper administrations to appropriate and allocate the commodities. Mother Earth's precious resources were never, which is a new phenomenon, by the way, it's a new phenomenon that white men and black men, because of their strength, decided that they're going to take and rape and do the things that they do. They're the ones, and women are following the majority. Women are the majority with their children, old folks, and the men who stand with them, they are the super majority. And if you look at the real minority on the planet Earth is men, white and black. And the last time I checked, the whole Earth is a pluralistic society, and the majority must rule in order to overturn an upside-down world right side up. So if you can look at figures don't lie and lies don't figure, it's a mathematical equation, the majority, because what y'all are talking about, most of you, are micro. You're talking about micro, but you're not thinking about the creator. That's why I'm here to help you remember to think macro. You got to think big. You talk about the world, what you got, the Federal Reserve, that's micro. Because there's a collage of other evil empires like the World Bank, the IMF, those ignorant the IMF, the corporate foreign governments, and all of these collage of monopoly, corruption, and greed.
Hang on. The World Bank is controlled by the central bank, actually. And so, therefore, the Federal Reserve the Federal Reserve isn't micro; it's macro. It's worldwide.
We
got a caller waiting.
From your definition, I agree with it. But capitalism based on imperialism is the enemy of all life on the planet. All life, and as long as that thing can exist, then no one will get the sustenance because we've already paid the price for the sustenance, the water, and the blood to equitably share and care for the human family. That's not happening because we have a bias and prejudice and a racist ideology on who deserves commodities, who should get them, when Mother Earth is freely putting forth the sustenance, and there's evil men who has took control and decided what a commodity is. And let me tell you what the number one commodity, there ain't no pennies and $100 bills, that's paper. That's just counterfeit. The real commodity is the earth herself, and then the woman and the man. That's the real commodity. That's what makes the world go round. It's the Mother Earth herself, her commodities, and then the women, number two commodity, and number three is the men. Right? That's the real commodity.
All right, Mandelakhan, hang on, Mandelakhan. We got a caller that's waiting, so let's let the callers, because that's what this show is about. Even though you're the host of tonight's show, let's let the callers speak. Area code
but they
248.
need
Go
to
ahead.
stick, I like for them to stick to the subject matter and what's relevant if necessary. But if they want to talk about some other things, then that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah,
that's okay too.
All right. All right.
Okay,
Area code
hi.
248. Go ahead. You're live.
Okay, this is The Truth Peddler. It's my social media name. I would just like to say that everybody has a valid point. Everybody, because perception is just that, is the perception of oneself. So everybody basically is right. But this is what I'm saying. We've become too physical of people. The reason why the balance is off and we've become more masculine than feminine and all this other stuff is because we become too physical. We got the details. We got the research. We got the proof and all of that. But that is physical stuff. If we do not connect to spirituality, we're going to be doomed. We are all connected as one. Everybody, black, white, Puerto Rican, Chinese, chicken, dog, cat, bird, ant, everybody's connected. So once we realize that we are all connected, what is the one thing that can solve all of these problems? It's unconditional love. It sounds crazy, but guess what? That is the mission that we came back here with from past lifetimes before. We signed a contract saying that we're going to come back soul and body here to restore unconditional love amongst the earth, because there are things happening that we cannot physically control. We cannot physically control it. The only way to tackle this situation is spiritually. Okay? Now, we've been attacked spiritually as well. We've been divided. Now, everybody has their own religion. That's fine. Perception is one's own. But then we have to realize this. Our first holy trinity is ourselves, mind, body, and soul. If we do not connect our minds to our bodies and our minds and our bodies to our souls, then we are disconnected from Mother Earth. So we can't get what she wants to hear or what she wants us to hear. We can't get the information that we're supposed to have because we're disconnected from her. We're worrying about so many physical things that we forget that we have life path numbers. Life path numbers to tell you what path you are to be here in life. We have heart desires numbers. Heart desire numbers tells you what it is that will keep you fulfilled in this lifetime to live out your mission. We have all these math and sciences about ourselves. The problem is we aren't taught those things. We aren't taught that you have to find out who you are before you go into work to find out what everything else is. If I don't know who I am, what position am I going to know to play in this world? Now, the people that are these egotistical people that are power tripping and doing all this other stuff, they know the secrets. They know that they have to be a certain spiritual kind of way to keep control over certain people. They know that. They like, okay, so we're going to do this on this day. They do math just like, what was it? I don't know how to say this because I read, but I'm not no doctor, so I'm not going to, But just like in religions where they break the math down for the day. Today is a day that vibrates on this number, and today is a day that vibrates on this number. That's what they're doing. They are using our math and our science against us because we don't know what it is. You get where I'm going? If we don't know that an 8-day is for power and strength, we're not going to know that whatever we tackle on an 8 day, we're going to be able to get done in a powerful and more strengthful way. We're not going to know that. We just know that, hey, today is I don't know, today is Wednesday, and we are so physical. If we actually tapped into the spiritual outline and the DNA of ourselves that is in everything in this world, we are everything that's in this world is us. We are trees, we are rocks, we are dirt, we are everything. Everything is connected. If we don't get more and connected to that, we're doomed. It doesn't matter who's running the ship. It doesn't matter who's doing what. Okay, because it doesn't matter what God we serve. We're doomed because we don't have that inside of us. You see what I'm saying? I distance myself from the conscious community because how can you tell me about where I came from and what is due to me when we can't even talk to each other amongst each other without getting offended and without having to reiterate aggressively our points and things like that. We should be able to talk to each other with unconditional love. Your perception is right just as well as my perception is right because everybody has their own perception. You get where I'm going? And then people don't utilize the self words right. Yourself, myself, self-establishment. These words that attach to self means for our own. Now, I can't teach you anything about yourself if I don't know anything about me. I will be a blind mouse leading blind mice. So Self-knowledge is the key to overturning everything that's going on right now. Self-knowledge will let you know that unconditional love heals and does everything the way it's supposed to do. Not saying that everything is all good, because there's a balance of good and bad, of smart and dumb, of child and adult. Everything has its balance. But just understand that unconditional love, if you feel it for yourself, you can feel it for the person outside of you, and that vibration will spread to people outside of them, and those vibrations it travels just like a fight on Facebook would.
Queen Mother,
understand your power.
Let me ask you a question right quick.
Hang on, Mandelakhan, hang on. I just want to say kudos to that caller there. She's got a very sweet voice, and she gives some knowledge to the program.
Right.
So thank you so much. Go ahead, Mandelakhan.
What's your name, Queen Mother? What's your name?
I'm sorry?
Say your name again.
Peddler. The Truth Peddler.
Oh, okay. Very good. Because you had it. Yes, you did. And I want to pick it up where, I don't know if you heard me talk about from the very beginning, love, and you said the word unconditional. I want to put selfless, unconditional with that, because we are all singly been programmed to selfless conditional, and what you brought in is building where we've opened up on that selfless, unconditional love is the way out. And the second point you made that was so critical was when you said they. When we say the word they, we got to put that we know that they, whoever they are the minority. We the people, by the people, for the people, of the people, we are the majority. So you're going to build two places. One, unconditional, selfless love will overturn selfish, conditional love that we all in the Genesis came in on. Now we have to fast forward to revolutionary revelation, and then you brought in they. But we can't focus on they anymore, because we know that their plan is destruction. And we are the spiritual body, which is the real Holy Trinity, which is the mother, father, and child. And every mother, father, and child is precious. You have a saying that's called Black Lives Matter.
Hang on, Mandelakhan, can I ask you
all
can I ask
lives
you a
matter
question,
under the
Mandelakhan?
Creator. Wait a minute, all lives under the Creator. I want to hear a response. All
right,
lives matter under the Creator, under your spiritual revelation that you brought in, that we can't go on the physical because we are here and everyone's in kill or be killed. And what we are, the needle in the haystack is bringing, and you only hear it on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and social media and Blog Talk Radio. You won't hear it on FCC Radio and TV. We have to know that we are the glass half full, the eternal optimist, to overturn the glass half empty and the pessimist of kill or be killed. So, Mother, I'd like to hear your response.
Okay, I would like to start to say about this. I did say that we are all connected, right? So by they, I mean the people that know themselves enough to know how to manipulate our science and our math. If they are filled with rage and discontentment and power and greed, don't you think that we will feel it too, because we're all connected? So we are only as good as the majority of energy. The majority of energy right now is negative. So there's no minority or majority, because we are technically all connected. The only way to counter that negativity is if the minorities, as you say, band together, this minority, this minority, this minority, with that unconditional, selfless love to then balance out with that bad energy and create a balance. We're out of balance right now.
Well, that was hang on. Can I just interject real quick? That was my question. Shouldn't the minority rule instead of the majority? Because how can the minority ever receive rights if there's two wolves and a sheep voting on what's for dinner? Shouldn't the minority have the say?
No.
That was my question.
The minority is unknowing of self. The majority knows so much about self, they know how to manipulate their math and their science. So it's like we're always going to lose because they're trying to distract us from knowing ourselves. We get compared to so many different things, and we have so many different lifestyles to feel less than because of, that we don't see that we already have the power inside of us. We already have the tools we need to beat this battle. We just don't know it yet.
No, I understand.
Who's
I
really
understand
out
what
there?
you're saying, but say for instance, if like for instance, say you're in a box. Just take this as a hypothetical question. Hypothetical.
Right.
If 12, if you have 12 people, right? 12 people, and one person says, "No, I disagree." Shouldn't that one person receive the rights that they deserve instead of a majority ruling over that one person?
And that what you speak of is called balance, because if you take out of an electric circuit, you unhook one thing, that current is completely gone. There's nothing coming from that. So that is balance. You are right. But see, we're not being taught balance. We're not practicing balance. We don't have balance. So the majority will rule. That's like a big kid in the lunchroom got 3 friends and you a skinny runt and he's trying to take your lunch money. Guess who's going to get their lunch money taken? You, because there's 3 big, giant, aggressive people in front of you that you cannot fight. But if you knew that you got a slingshot in your pocket that you could possibly pull it back and knock out 3 of them at the same time, that you will be out of that situation. We don't know that we have the tools that we need already. So the majority is always going to win because they have the power.
And that's why that was my point. The majority should not have the power because the minority should always be able to have the right to fight back. You know, if we can't fight for the minorities.
As long as the minority is accepting the fact that there are a minority, then there will continue to be a minority. I don't put myself in a place where I could be established in any sort. I'm not rich, I'm not poor, I'm comfortable. I don't put myself in a place to say, okay, I don't have this right. You know what I do? I say, at the end of the day, nature is the law. I don't have anything to do with what's going on. All that I know is what part I'm going to play when things happen. See, the people that have the power think they have power, so they tell you they have power and you believe it. The minority says, hey, I can't do this because I'm not Bill, I'm not Jim, I'm not Gary, I can't do this. But the minority doesn't understand that they have exactly the same thing that these people have. They just don't have the resources in using them.
Well, I agree with you 100%. They don't have you're absolutely correct. They don't have the resources, but that's why we do shows like this, to give people the resources so they can stand up against the majority, right?
Exactly. And this is why I called in today. I've been notified to call into this radio station or call in for like 3 or 4 months, kid you not. And today I saw it and I said, I'm going to call in because I feel like there's things that need to be said that aren't being said. And that as long as we're getting tangled up in the details of things and we're not seeing the underlying basis, we're going to be stuck. The underlying basis is this, and this is minority, and I'm telling you this from my mouth, and I'm telling you from experience. The only way to get out of a position of feeling like you are less than is to understanding that you are in the exact place that you are supposed to be at this time. You are supposed to be learning from the things around you. If the situation you are stuck in you can't learn from, then that means that you are missing something. We are supposed to keep on moving forward. We're supposed to have answers to these things going on right now 60 years ago, but we get distracted. Start focusing on self. Don't worry about what the next person feels or thinks about you. Worry about self, and then you will slowly come out of being in a minority category.
Okay.
That is awesome. Let me tell you, the people in the chat room love. Hang on. The people in the chat room love you. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm looking at the chat room comments. So you're awesome. I really love you, and you brought a great voice. Go ahead, Mandelakhan. It's your show. Go ahead. I just wanted to make a comment.
Listen, I want to get in right there on this discussion on minority or majority. Now, I dare anyone to dispute this. You're going to have to remember this, and remember you never heard it nowhere else but right here from this voice of this line. I want you to lay the map of this country out right now and look at who is the real majority. And you got to remember, now, there's 100% of people. Now, here's the class, not race contradiction, breakdown. And you got to remember this. 80% of the people are workers and poor peasants. That's 80. 18% of the people are so-called middle class. Only 2% are the vase or the real enemy against the majority. I've already defined that who is the real majority of humans on the planet Earth who have the power to overturn the tyrants. That's the workers, poor peasants, and the majority is women. Those women with families, women with age-dependent children. Those women, their children, their old folks, and the good men who will stand with them. That's the super maximum majority that no weapon formed against us shall prosper. Now, I know y'all know what I'm talking about. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. So don't act like I'm speaking out the east end of a horse's ass. I'm here just to help you remember that the real majority is the workers and poor peasants. Maximum majority is the women, black or white, old, young, gay, split alike, with their children, old folks, to perform the exigency of the total recall, and we have a right and a duty to overturn these tyrants. We have a right, and we can do it bloodlessly without firing a shot. We didn't kill.
The only thing is we're not doing it together.
But because we're only a needle in a haystack, Mother. You got to realize. You got to realize, Mother.
She's absolutely correct. Hang on, Mandelakhan. Hang on. Let me interject. Well, I want to say this. She's absolutely right. We're not coming together because we're so distracted by this corporation, by this evil corporation that's. Mandelakhan, let me finish my point. Hang on. No, we're not. We're not. She's absolutely correct. We're not together. We're a divided people. Republican, Democrat, blah, 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 black, white, this and that. It's all a distraction through the music, through the TV. You know, all through the nonsense, through our money, through our economic condition. You know, we're fighting with each other. Oh, we got to have black people living in this type of these conditions. We got to have Hispanics. We got to do this. You know, we're all not working together.'s absolutely correct. And if we can unite together, damn, we can stand up.
Now, where she's not correct is this.
She wants.
Listen, you got to remember this if you don't believe me. Now, listen, I want y'all to look right now. On Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, the Black Panthers, all the way back, we didn't have social media where my voice can touch in Singapore, Thailand, Africa at the drop of a hat. We are organizing. If we were supposed to be free, it would have happened a long time ago. It wasn't time. It just wasn't time, y'all. But why is it time now? Because all of us, even if we don't have eyes to see, we can feel that something big is taking place, whether it's going to be good or bad. We are in the valley of decisions, and this time we have to be right. That's what I'm saying. So we are doing it. We just a needle in a haystack.
Let me explain it to you. Let me explain this to you because I'm a big astrology and numerology, researcher. You get where I'm going? So we just left. This is the year of the two. The year of the two, if you look at it, if you think about it, only thing that can make a 2 is 2-1, so that's 11. So 11 is a number of illumination. It's so many things that came out this year, so many people that were, you know what I'm saying, the lies came out, people got indicted, people are going to be indicted. It's illuminating year, right? So the year of the 3, after destruction, you have to build back up again. So the 2 being the number 2, 1, 1 sitting next to each other it is divided. But see, now we're coming into the 3, the year of the 3, where we're supposed to be coming together, working together, and celebrating. Celebrating not like, hey, turn up, let's do this, but celebrating like now we have the resources that we need. Now let me say this. The only reason why anybody is struggling is because we're not helping and respecting one another. Help comes with disrespect. You have to worry about somebody saying, I did this for you, I did this for you, I did this for you. If we can just do for one another and not want anything in return and respect the fact that everybody has strengths and weaknesses, then we'll get past this barrier that we're at. If you know that it's a girl up the street that has 3 kids and she's trying to feed her kids and you know that she's going through whatever and you have extra money to go down there and see if she's okay. That's how we look out for each other. Now, kids aren't supposed to be had for the mother and the father. Right. Kids are had for the community. Those kids will grow up and be adults in your community. So it doesn't matter whose child it is. If it came out your loins or out your body, you're supposed to make sure that kids are taken care of. After kids, it's women because women raise the kids. If the kids ate, make sure the woman is okay. And it doesn't just go that far. It's men too. Men need to be built up. They need to know that confidence versus egoism is disease. You have to know the difference between confidence and having an ego. Men need to be built up too. So we all need to just build each other up. Instead of saying, hey, you had those pants on yesterday, what are those? Be like, hey, are you comfortable in your situation right now? Are you stable or are you stagnant? Can I help you in some kind of way? We all have resources. We're not just giving them to each other. It's a guy that tells me, I'm not going to tell you where I got these Android boxes from because it's my plug. Okay, you're not going to tell me where you get your Android boxes from, but you can help me. Now, you know I have a child and I have a household and I can fend for my child and my household in this industry. You don't want to help me. It's because people are looking at it. They're being selfish. It's a duality to selfishness. You can be selfish and care about yourself enough to not let anyone hurt you, but you can also be selfish and not care enough to help the next person. That's all we have to do is start looking out for each other, regardless of who it is or what they look like, what color they are, what kind of music they listen to. Unconditional love, I promise to you the power of it. The situation I'm in right now, I'm not going to get into the details of, but I blended multiple energies together, and we are working together regardless of our differences. We are working together. I have a 6-year-old child that is not biologically mine, but I've had her, and that baby looks at me and called me mommy, and she knows that I won't let nothing happen to her. And when she goes around my family that is not biologically related to her, they look out for her as well because she's a child. So I'm building her mentality already as to say, you help those that you can if you have it in abundance. We get abundance, and then we think we've made it, and we don't have to worry about nobody else because we don't have to ask for anything else. You get abundance, and this is not in any biblical book. This is just common sense and soul enriching. If you have an abundance, you are to help the next person. What they did was planted this ego versus confidence in our minds. So now we're living up to the expectation, X being out, spectar being a root word meaning of outside of yourself. So we're worried about what the next person outside of us thinks about us, and we're not worrying about what we think about ourselves. Can you look yourself in the mirror with the things you did today? Can you feel good about yourself today? Can you say, I did something to get myself closer to God today? If you can't, then you're on a wrong mission. If we're not helping each other, we hurt each other. Regardless if I spit on you or whatever the case may be, I'm hurting you just as bad. We're not helping you when you're in your time of need. It's respect. We have to respect each other. They try so hard to keep us in the most disrespectful situations. You think of women in the most disrespectful way, men in the most disrespectful way, the relationship of man and a woman in a disrespectful way. Our kids are now disrespectful. Come on. Where is the respect? Respect equals love, unconditional, selflessness. That's what it is. If you can't respect a man just the same way you would respect a woman that had kids or vice versa, you're not respecting yourself. It's an energy.
That's right.
It's like
That's right.
Energy speaks louder than words and intent. Because regardless of what you say to me and regardless of what you're doing something for, your energy is not going to lie to me. If you ever been around somebody and you said, I don't feel right about this person, and later on thought that they were doing something, it's because energy is more powerful than you think. And if we are all vibrating on low frequencies, we're going to have low frequency things coming back to us. The universe is going to say they are content with low vibing things, partying, drinking, disrespecting, lying, cheating. That's what they want, and that's what you're going to get. That's why our government is lying, cheating, doing all this other stuff to us. Once we figure out that we have to embody the energy that we want from these people that we are demanding from, then we're going to have it. We can't demand something from someone else that we can't even show ourselves. Give me your ID. I don't have one.
Right.
Okay, let me see yours. I don't got one either. Okay, we're the same.
That's right. Amen. Amen to that. And Mandelakhan, let's give these callers because they're going to cut us off in about 29 minutes, or actually a little bit before that. And Mandelakhan, of course, you'll get the final thoughts to the program. But I want to go to 251. Go ahead and take about 8 minutes to talk, and then 248. Like I said, she's got a great voice. She actually took over the show here tonight with some knowledge. So 251, go ahead if you want to give some closing thoughts, and then I'll give 248. I know she's got a lot more to say. So 251, and then there were a couple new callers that dropped, or maybe 336 wants to join in the conversation. I don't know. But 251, go ahead. You go first. Go ahead.
Thank you, Joe. It's Akshita Veda, and I really thank you. The Truth Peddler, everything you said, I'm in agreement with you. It is going to come down to unconditional love because that is our soul contract. And, we are not taught how to use our divinity. And so this is why we are lost as far as bringing in the mental and the physical and then into our spirituality is where we're all lost. And so, yes, we must run our own ship, and that's our own body. That's knowing yourself to govern yourself, So I'm with you. It's all about self-determination. And as far as it goes is how we're speaking. We're speaking the ing versus sound, frequency, and vibration. The ing is the English language, which is full of a ton of ing, which is nothing. And so this is where we are today. And if we don't realize that speaking through sound, frequency, and vibration is where it's at, we're going to continue to be lost because we're not looking to nature to see where we're at. And that's all I want to say. This is Akshita Veda, and I thank you for allowing me to speak on your show, Joe. Thank you, Mandelakhan, for all that you bring. As far as Class Action 567, that is the revolutionary revelation, and we do need 11 million people to get the job done. We are a unity as we stand together. So thank you.
Arshaveda, well, yeah, it's always awesome hearing you on my show. Sorry. It's always awesome to hear your voice, though. You got a great voice, a great radio voice, actually. And it's always awesome to hear your knowledge on this program. And, of course, you'll always have a voice on my program, always, like Mandelakhan and anyone else who wants to join into the program. But
thank you. I appreciate
248. Oh, I appreciate you too. I really do, and I love you as a person, as a human being, and you're always welcome, always. 248. Go ahead. I know you got a lot to say. Thank you so much. 248. Go ahead, and if anyone new wants to call in, you got to press 1 after 248 gives some closing remarks because Mandelakhan's going to wrap up the show after that. So if you want to press 1, go ahead. I know I got a bunch of callers on the line. I know maybe Leroy may want to speak up or a couple other people that are listening here. If not, I understand. If you don't have nothing to contribute or just want to listen, I understand. Go ahead, 248. I know you got a lot to say, and you got an awesome voice, too, and I love you for calling into this show. So go ahead.
Well, thank you, and I want you to let me know as soon as somebody press 1 because I can talk myself to the moon, okay? But I do want to say this. The best thing that we can do right now, being that we don't have the immediate resources to tackle the big things, is we got to start with the kids. We have to teach them about life purpose early. I've already let my daughter know that she is a Capricorn, which means she's an earth sign. I let her know about her ascending notes and her, you know what I'm saying? It sounds boring, but as a child, they're ready to absorb anything you give to them. So letting them know their life path right now, their heart's desire right now, numerology will break down your life and show you the different challenges that you will go through and everything. And to be able to do that with your child, instead of saying, I don't know what's wrong with him because he's over there acting crazy, you can be like, I've studied this numerology chart. I know what he's going through right now. He's trying to find out himself in the world of 1 billion people. The more you understand your child, the more that you can help your child understand their life's purpose, okay? And while you're learning your life's purpose. So the more knowledge we have about ourselves, that's what they're keeping us away from, and what we need to get is exactly what is going to put those seeds down, and all we need is that love to water them. So if you know about yourself and then you go out and give unconditional love to the people outside of you, and whatever it can be, it will water those seeds inside of you. How do I know? I was a very angry individual not too long ago. But I understood that the way that I reacted and my energy affected the people around me in major ways. So when I say that power, that energy is more powerful than we think it is, the things you think, the things you say, and how you feel collectively is the energy the aura that you have. So if you're thinking positive things like, I am not this, but I am all of this, I am love, I am clear thinking, I am abundance, I am motivation, I am determined. If you think those things about yourself, even if you just stand them in your head, if you can memorize a song, you can memorize 5 to 10 affirmations to repeat to yourself in a day that will not only help you, but if you have kids around you that look up to you every day and you're looking at them and they seeing how you are going through life, you are conditioning them already not to look at the bad things in life, and they will be easier to get to balance in their life. Kids look at their parents stressed through everything, and it may seem like it's a little off subject, but y'all have to understand all of the components that make us a unit, okay? So me talking about these kids and your effects on them is me basically saying that it's never going to end. So if we can't figure this out this generation, we at least got to make sure they're equipped to figure it out in their generation. So teaching the kids will be the first thing that we need to do, no matter how young or how old. A child is always ready to learn. And discipline and oh my goodness, their energy is so much more powerful than ours because they haven't been dulled down with anything. So those loving, innocent energies, we have to nurture those, or whatever the case may be. I know that this audience I'm talking to is not the audience that need to hear this, but if y'all have people that y'all can just explain that to in those ways that'll listen to you, if they don't get the message, they don't. But you have to try, because we are only under attack because we are not in high vibration. Nothing can penetrate high vibration. Lies, cheating, none of that stuff can penetrate high vibrations because you are in complete and utter knowing of self. You know what I'm saying? And your capabilities and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's the problem is so apples and oranges, but it's not, because they're both fruit. You get where I'm going? So it's like, you know, we can't keep saying who's at fault when, you know, we aren't doing what we need to do to lessen the situation. And it goes as far as, you know what I'm saying, just dealing with things in a different way. If somebody makes you angry, instead of replying in an aggressive way, reply in a way that you have put yourself in their shoes. Empathy, that's what it is. We have to, compassion and empathy, it strengthens your spiritual resources. It strengthens the Wi-Fi signal to your higher person, God, the Hindu, whomever. It strengthens that. Empathy and compassion. You have to understand what the other person is going through. These people that are manipulating and doing all these things, we may not even know what state of mind they're truly in. We don't know what they're going through for real. We don't know if they're being puppeteered or whatnot. All we know is they're carrying out missions that have been given to them. We still have to understand that they may not know what they're doing. So you got to look at them like the little special kids that need the one-on-one attention, because they do not know what they're doing. If they knew better, they would understand that if we were all in higher vibrations, that we would be better as a total. They're still thinking that as long as they're vibing the way that they vibe and things are going the way that they want, that that's good for everybody. They're damaging the world just as much as the weather is, or a natural disaster, just by their energy. So energy, first and foremost, we need to check this up. It sounds so menial and not important, but it is. And then our children is the next thing. They're attacking them. Can you not see that they're attacking children? Regardless of how many grown-up problems we have, they're attacking our children in every way, promoting the most unbalanced, the most unnatural, the most taboo, the most everything that's going to keep us from being vibrating on our natural nature of vibration. You see what I'm saying? So it's so much bigger than the big picture, and that is what scares me, because the things are so simple that we need to know to fix these problems, but they're so greatly hidden from us that we don't even believe in when we see them. Astrology, what? No, that's fake. A numerology, what is that? And they do that on purpose. Just like they make intelligent people look like they're clowns. They make them comedians. They make them, you know what I'm saying, seem less of a reliable resource. So when they do start saying something real, we just look past it and not take them so seriously, because they have vibrated on I'm not serious energy for so long. That's what we take them as. You have to understand, we have to ask why. Why are they able to do that? Why do they have so much power? How? Where did it come from? Who gave them this power? You see what I'm saying? Things just don't happen for no reason. Everything happens for a purpose. This is a mission that we came here to fight. And as long as we fighting it with hate, we're going to be hated. We're going to be hated. As long as we're fighting it with I can't stand you and you this and you got this more than me and this and that, as long as we're fighting it with that, we're going to be feeling that. We're going to be stuck in that. We have to fight it in. You know what? You might be a little special, so I'm going to treat you like that. I'm going to treat you like you just might be a little special. We have to, because then that's the only way to make it. Okay, that's the only way for us to react to our reality in the way that we're supposed to. We're going to be kept hostile. We're going to be kept angry. We're going to be kept sexually active, and we don't know about sexual spirituality. We're going to be kept in a box when all we have to do is open up the flap and get out, but we are being scared. We've been taught fear. You fear everything you don't understand, everything you cannot control. You're scared of it. And because you're scared of it, it becomes a blockage. Now you've blocked one of your chakras. Now you're all off balance. Now your body hurts. Now your head hurting. You know what I'm saying? And it's like people don't understand how much spirituality really plays a role in this war. Okay? It is spiritual warfare out here. They're attacking us from left and right. Okay? They're doing it regardless of what your religion is. They're attacking us religiously, our faith, our safe cloak, the one you put. You know, when you're a kid, you put the cover on, and as long as you're under the cover, the boogeyman can't get you. They're taking that from us. And now we just scared of every damn thing. The world going to end 2012. The world going to end 2014. The world going to end 2015. And we sit here preparing, when all we have to do is live up to our highest vibration. It don't matter if it ends, because if it ends, that means that we won the war. We won the war. Who wants to be in hell for the rest of their life? You see what I'm saying? We are programmed through fear. That is the worst thing. That's the worst disease to have is fear. Because it doesn't. We don't know if we can cure it. Only you can. Stop being scared.
Well,
Stop feeling like you have to.
Well, you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. And I got another caller here who may want to comment on what you're saying.
All right.
Actually, I got a couple callers before I get to Mandelakhan.
Okay.
But yeah, you're absolutely correct. And just let you know, fear causes hesitation. Hesitation causes your worst fears to come true. So go ahead.
Go ahead,
you.
Big Banker.
Go ahead, Connecticut. Meriden, Connecticut. Caller from Connecticut.
Ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that must be me. Yeah. First off, I know Mandelakhan likes to speak, and I'm sure he'll get his chance either on the rest of this show or on another show. And we really appreciate what you have to say, Mandelakhan. This woman here, the peddler woman, I don't know her entire name because I didn't remember it. I'll tell you what, if she slowed down just a little bit, you know, Obama became president because he could talk. If she slowed down just a little bit, boy, she'd have him beat for speeches. And I just want to know one thing. I'm taking a guess here. I'm going to go with a Leo, and then I'll go with a Capricorn, Aquarius, or a Pisces. And the only reason why I'm saying that because I think you're more like a Capricorn, but you're probably on the Aquarius side. Which one are you?
Actually, I'm a Cancer Sun, but a Leo Venus, a Leo everything else. And
okay.
Capricorn is my South Node.
Well, I was close.
And it was kind of crazy how you did that.
I was closer than with the Leo, but I figured since you're so assertive on horror, astrology and everything, that you were more in the Aquarius Pisces realm. But the Leo is what I originally thought, but you're just above that.
Yes,
but okay.
When you said Leo, my stomach dropped. Like what?
Yeah, there you go. That was my first pick. But thank you very much. You did a good talk tonight. Thank you.
And I'm sorry for talking fast, but I'm Haitian and Jamaican, and that's the way I'm programmed.
No, it's not too fast. I just said if you'd slow down, you'd have Obama beat. You'd have Obama beat.
And I'm gonna take that constructive criticism. Thank you, and I'm gonna try that for sure.
Try it. Good night, everybody. I'll listen to the rest of the show.
Well, thank you so much, Connecticut. Thank you so much. And we got another caller from North Carolina. But I'm a Leo, so she actually took over me as a Leo. I was born in August.
I didn't mean to.
August 17th, actually. It's okay. Don't worry. Let's get one more caller, and then, of course, Mandelakhan. It's his show, and I don't want to take it from him, but we always have to take callers, and that's what's important.
Okay.
So go ahead, Leroy from North Carolina. Go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine. Go ahead. You got a couple
Okay,
minutes to talk. Go ahead.
That's fine. I didn't hear the thing say you're unmuted like it normally says. But yeah, like Bitbagger said, if that one lady, I think she was a truth peddler or something, slowed down just a little bit, she could run for president. Really, it's just smooth talking, facts, and middle of the road, and that's what it takes. I mean, she wasn't blaming nobody. She wasn't, putting blame on nobody. She was talking about how, what we need to do to fix problems in our communities amongst our people, so rather than blaming people like the con does. But, and then they talked about positive thinking. Positive thinking is a great thing. When I went to school, just for example, people ask, how do you do it? How do you do it? Because I went to school full-time and worked a full-time job. I got 4 hours of sleep every night. I did it for a year because I did 6 hours of school a day, too. And you just wake up, no matter how tired you are or whatever, you got to get motivated. You find out what gets you motivated. If you and 3 other people go to a job site to do a job, and you're the one there going, oh, this job sucks, man. I didn't get no sleep last night. Oh, man, I got to work. You're going to bring everybody else down around you. But if you go there, man, I got 4 hours sleep last night. I'm feeling good. Let's get this shit done so I get home. Everybody's going to be pumping and working hard, and that's the way it works. And then they touched off on the children, too, and influencing children. Influencing children, I think that's one of the most important things that we can do, and I've preached on this before. It all starts at home. It's not the TV. Cartoons nowadays are nothing like cartoons were 20, 30, 40 years ago when cartoons are going out shooting people with guns and chasing people and chasing rabbits around and everything else like that. Now they're all politically correct, but they still throw their little bit of adult humor in there. So you can't blame the TV neither. It's parenting. That's where it comes from. And the end of the world, I don't think the end of the world is going to be any cause of the man on Earth. The end of the world is going to be, well, that's one thing I agree with the Mandelakhan. It's going to be Mother Earth's time to be the end of the world, and that's what's going to happen. And it's happened almost a couple times before. That's how the moon was formed. That's how the dinosaurs became extinct. And it's going to happen again sometime. In our short period of time on Earth, we have seen nothing like it. But it will happen again. It's going to happen. It's not if, it's when. And that's all I got to say. So we'll let Mandelakhan tell his riddles for a little while and blame the white man and everything else. But we're gonna leave it at that. And I got to get ready for bed 'cause it's past my bedtime. I'm almost getting ready to turn into a pumpkin.
All right. Well, thank you, North Carolina, for queuing in. I appreciate that. All right, Mandelakhan, you get the wrap-up of the show. Hopefully everyone will listen to you.
Yeah.
It's your time. You got 10 minutes before they cut us off. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. And I said that if you go low on me, I'm going to go lower. And if you go lower, I'm going to go underground and give you an African ass whooping. This is to Leroy the Liar. And it's only brief. It's only the Leroy the Liar. You can slander, character assassinate, and say, kill the message. The hell with the message, all he wants. We're going to see who can get people together. As the previous caller was talking about, I said selfless. She said unconditional selfless love. Because like others, y'all are into selfless, conditional love, no matter what color you are. That's what she's based on. So I already put the criteria in the lady, truth peddler. She came in and told you about love. But the theme was love. So I can't lie on you. I can't lie on nobody. And I know that I got a right to talk this way because I can prove the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth right before your very eyes. And here's the answer, the only answer. And if you're scared, say you're scared, goddammit. Back your ass up. Because here's the answer. We know enough already to come forward in love based on the truth peddler. In international public record, after all this time of all the conscientious objectors that don't like to hear my voice, everyone uniformly said, truth peddlers tell the truth. Isn't that something? Her name, Truth Peddler. Out of all the discussion, all of a sudden, Truth Peddler came in under divine intervention. She didn't say nothing about the matriarch. She didn't say nothing about Class Action 567. She didn't say anything about the common law court, the supreme law of this land. That's the supreme law of this land, and I am the secured party, the judge of Class Action 567. Each and every one of you are the jurors. The jurors, the court. The court is in session as we interact and as we spread this good news to the people as we go forward from here each and every day. So we're having the right discussion at the right place in the right time in the right season for the right reason. There's a rhyme and riddle, because there's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing to stop some whose time has come, Leroy. And it's my time now. When I say me, I don't say me personally. I said the court. Who is the common law court? That's the mothers, grandmothers, great-grandmothers, and their warring factions inside this country. That's under live and let live in one love because of Truth Peddler. So we coming together to shut them down. Government shutdown, wall, someone's talking about it, but a government shutdown? No. We, Class Action 567, we're going to shut them down to get the redress to not overthrow, but overturn in a bloodless, why do I keep saying bloodless? Bloodless. Because you're not going to be able to shoot, vote, pray, or go to school your way out of this one. We've already been given the right information. We all know enough. Black, brown, red, yellow, and white, old, young, gay, straight, like we already know enough on how to create the venue for live and let live in one love. That's the only way out of this now. So Class Action 567 is the signed, sworn, and sealed common law decision from the people's government. The people are the government, and the government is not the people. I'll say it again. The people are the government, and the government is not the people. What government is not the people? The kind of minority. Those beasts who are guilty of perjury, sedition, insubordination, and treason. They're guilty of war crimes, cruel and unusual punishment, crimes against humanity, and specific exact crimes against the women and children all over the planet that's so appalling and offensive that it takes my voice to bring it up in the common law court to turn an upside-down world right side up. And because the eagle is a symbol of how all the other nations live, that's the Genesis. Now, we fast forward to this revolutionary revelation, this eagle has to be grounded. And a no-fly zone of military weapons in other nations is appalling, offensive, reprehensible, and it has to be overturned right here. Right here. That's why we all need each other now, and time, not to mind, is a terrible thing to waste. So we've already got the information. Now it's time to remember it, and everybody prepare to organize in place with your social media, on your Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and on everything else. Organize, get your friends where you are. Go do whatever you want to do. Go spend an hour a day organizing the people in your network. Say, look, we get ready to call it out. The mothers, the grandmothers, and the great-grandmothers, not Mandelakhan, not Joe Gibson, not Leroy, not Donald Trump, not Barack Obama, but only the mothers, grandmothers, and the great-grandmothers have the authority to take control of Mother Earth. It's not nice to fool with Mother Nature, not Mandelakhan Nature, not Joe Gibson Nature, not President Nature, not Warlord Nature, not the king, not the governor, not the mayor, not the city council, because something stinks in there, right? So only the mothers have the authority from Mother Earth, Mother Uterus, Mother Universe, Mother Africa. It's not nice to fool with Mother Nature. Y'all know that commercial. That commercial told you. And I'm telling you, I'm the son of Mother Nature. One man was chosen to help y'all remember. And this is to bring in the age of the matriarch, the total recall, which y'all forgot. And y'all know you men are stronger than the women and the children. But look at what you do, and look at how you're doing it. And you're not sharing the resources that you're going to put under your control, and then you're making the woman sell her body just to get sustenance. A woman, let me say this finally, once we overturn the system, no pussy is to be sold, raped, or stole. You understand me? No pussy is to be sold, raped, or stole ever again on the planet Earth. And now I'm going to bring in the closing of the revelation of them books of the dead, the Bible, Torah, and the Quran. In that, it said that if you turn back to me, I will take back these plagues and heal your land, and Ethiopia will stretch forth her hands under God, rule the world. This is the time in which we live today. This is what we know, because we know that no woman, if she was in authorized of leadership from Occupy Wall Street to Sarah Barton on to now, she would never authorize no rape, no wars. Mothers are neutrals and providers of the appropriations and allocations of the commodities and the sustenance that the families, the village, it takes a village to raise a child. But if you got a crazy-ass village where everybody fighting and scratching for the me, my, I, and no, we, French, yet the maid. But let me say this. Language. It's important that everyone in this country, no telling what might happen. We know that something break out. Most of us are not going up to Canada, Alaska, and Antarctica. If we go, and then they try to build a wall in the south of America, we know that we're heading south, right? And you better be able to speak you better be able to say, habla español, señora, señorita, los africanos, I'm hated to believe, or some shit like that, right? And if you get down by the francophone state, you better be able to say, get the man, bonjour, say, we see we play, I'm Pepe Le Pew, or some shit, right? If you get anywhere else, you don't have to speak many languages. You should learn some African language. You should learn some Chinese. I'm serious. The only people who are crazy enough to believe that, look, I'm English, I speak English. You go outside this country with the sentiment that's going on if y'all put a wall up and think y'all going to Cancun or somewhere to eat some curry goat and sit on the beach, and you put a wall up here and think y'all going to go outside this country, deny South and Central America access to the United States of America, you can't do that. But if things, all hell breaks loose to Mother Nature, if Mother Nature will destroy this country unless I get my way, it's my way or the highway, and it's her way. Mother knows best because Father surely lied. So I'm saying that if we flee, most of us, particularly Africans and people indigenous of color, we ain't going up Antarctica, right? We ain't going to Alaska. We know where we're heading. But they ain't talking about putting no wall up there, right? Nah, we can't have no wall. That's why I said Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's men, all the king's army couldn't put the Humpty together again, right? Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall, don't you get it? You know, I ain't talking about no wall. Somebody else is, and some of y'all endorsing it. But the fact of the matter is, a wall be put up in America, y'all don't know that y'all done sealed your own self in your fucking casket. You don't know. You done sealed yourself in your own casket because you better not go on no vacation outside this country in South or Central America talking about I'm from America and speak some English. See, I'm going to be able to get out of here. Hey, all right, good boy, be quiet. I'm going to be able to get out of here. And once I get past Texas, I'm going to relate, you know, because they're going to say, hey, that's the Africanos. He said, because we were from Mexico. This is a black man said that. Coming from America. What do you mean? Everybody going to see the news and the weather reports. Everybody going to see what's happening, the calamity, whether it's war or whatever. Everybody going to see it. But if we have to evacuate or if we have to abandon ship of the Eagle, most of us, no matter even if we white, we heading south. And you better speak some other language other than English. And that's the best thing I can tell you at a time like this, because this is a revolutionary revelation of let's make the Americas free again. And the only way to make it free is when the common people come together. We make up 80% of the people on the planet, right? The workers and poor peasants. We got the majority rule now. We must come together. It don't matter what we feel, think, believe, or opinion. We know we all need each other now in time. Not the mind is a terrible thing to waste. So I'm going to leave that right there and let Joe, you had a final word before we go out of here. But you notice how things went smooth, and we had some other callers, some new callers, and we had some more new callers that didn't even know up to one. This is beautiful, so we're going to keep this going, and we'll be on again on Sunday. But, Joe, you can close this out. Much love, much respect to each and every one of you. Well, it looks like Joe's not there.
I think he got cut off.
Leroy, you said you're going to bed.
No, I'm still here. I'm still here. Actually, they're going to cut us off in about 1 minute. So we'll close it out. All right. Well, thank you, Mandelakhan, and forward the link to this show. Very important. And just listen to 1 minute here. Very important. Everyone, good night. Thank you so much. God bless you and take care. And it was a great program.
Thank you, Joe. Good night.
In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
In Dallas, Texas, 3 shots were fired at President Kennedy's motorcade in downtown Dallas. The first reports say that President Kennedy has been seriously wounded by this shooting.
It is a big idea, a new world order.
It was almost as if it were a planned implosion. It just pancaked.
Either you were with us or you were with the terrorists.